So this is by far one of, if not the most important TikTok I have made. And so I hope that you will stay and listen to what I'm about to say, because it's something that we all as humans need to understand if we're ever going to truly progress and get to a point where we are, being human together the way we were intended to be human together. So I'm going to use an analogy that relates to bees to help bring this point home. So just follow me because it's going to make a lot of sense. So there are 8 billion of us, right? And counting. And so there also, though, is an endless amount of subjects or things that one could be educated on, right? An endless amount. If you really were to think about all the different pieces of information that exist, and that's not even including the things we haven't discovered yet, it's like a ridiculous amount of information. That means, though, that any one human, it's impossible for them to be educated, thoroughly educated on any, all topics, right? We all will have areas in which we are the expert, and what makes us an expert would be actually having training and education and background and skills, depending on what it is, or, actually learning. The problem is, because so many of us grew up in homes where we either were abused when we made mistakes or, were wrong. So now our nervous system has this visceral reaction to being wrong about something, or we grew up around parents who never took accountability and acted like they were God and could do no wrong. It conditioned a lot of adults walking around now to feel like the worst thing you could be is wrong about something. So then, as a result, as a trauma response, they like to pretend as if they know everything. But that's, again, impossible. You have to really think of what everything would include. So that means that when we are talking about a subject or have an opinion in a certain area, we really have to ask ourselves, where is my certainty of me knowing what I'm talking about coming from? Is it coming from my discomfort of, being wrong about things? So I'm pretending like I must be right and I'm being opinionated? Or is it coming from me having actual information and skills and knowledge in an area? For instance, right? You can't claim to know about mental health if you've never actually educated yourself on the brain, psychology. If you can't even name parts of your brain and what it does, or if you don't know what a cognitive distortion is, or a self-fulfilling prophecy, or the foot in the door technique, if all of that sounds like nonsense to you, then that means that's not something that you have educated yourself on enough yet to be the queen bee in that area, right? And we are all the queen bee in some areas, some subjects. For instance, I know some things about cars, but not enough to be an expert about cars. So I am not a queen bee in that area or subject. There are other humans, many of them, who have taken years and time to actually learn and become a queen bee in that area. So we, the rest of the colony, when we need answers in that area, we should go to people who are competent and the queen bee in that area. And we're doing this wrong, y'all. There's 8 billion of us for a reason. It's because we're supposed to all be experts in certain things and then trust and lean on each other for that information so that we can all keep learning and growing. It's impossible to know everything, but you know nothing if you pretend like you're right about everything all the time. If you're never comfortable with being wrong, that stops you from learning. People who think that they're never wrong actually are wrong the most, because no one can teach you anything. You never want to hear anything. And then when people say, well, where's that opinion coming from? Where's your research? What do you know in this area? You get defensive and you're like, but then now you didn't learn anything. And now the colony is lost because people are listening to you about a subject you absolutely really don't know anything about, or, whatever it may be. So if we all just realize that, number one, not knowing everything is true for all of us. So it's not a threat. It doesn't need to concern you. That's true for everybody. And that we are all supposed to, one, continuously be learning from each other, researching, growing, evolving, practicing skills. And we are also all supposed to, when we don't know something, allow ourselves to be a student. The colony is supposed to go towards that queen bee or bees who actually know what they're talking about, whose opinions or what suggestions are based and rooted in facts and knowledge and research. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So I just hope we can start doing that. Like you are a queen bee. There are many subjects where you are a queen bee, but if you keep acting like you're the queen bee of all the subjects, you become more and more wrong, and you also do us all a disservice.